Good evening, SFL Nation. Welcome to Richard L. Snowden Stadium in Denver, Colorado, the site of tonight's matchup between the 3-2 Minnesota Legend and the 2-3 Denver Nightwings. With the Commissioner Kevin Irvine back at SFL headquarters, Ron Haynes and Ricky Robertson on stats, this is T-Roy Gaines, and my partner tonight once again is Cameron Duty. And Cameron, let's set the stage for tonight. Both teams are entering tonight's action trying to rebound after a loss. Denver lost to San Diego in Week 5, while Minnesota lost to Houston last week. Cameron, what are your thoughts for tonight's game?
T-Roy, it is good to be with you. Good evening, everybody. I am so excited to be here because, as you said, we have a game of epic proportions. Once again, for Minnesota, for the second straight week, they are playing an opponent for the very first time. Now, we know last week it didn't go well for them as they ended up on the losing end against Houston. They're going to try to right that ship today. I think today is going to be a game full of offense. Now, I could be wrong, but I think when you have Colin Hart for Minnesota and you've got Bailey O'Shaughnessy over there for Denver, I think it's going to be a game of the two running backs, and I'm very excited for it. You know, both teams able to put up a lot of points per game. Minnesota currently sits second. You've got Johnny Reno, you've got Colin Hart, you've got Bailey O'Shaughnessy, you've got stars. It's Saturday night, it's SFL. What more do you want, T-Roy?
Well, I think everybody wants some great action. We're about to get ready to start tonight's action. Who will get off the schneid? It is showtime. We're heading down to the field for Week 7 action in the SFL. Denver will get the ball first as Melillo kicks it off. It's fielded inside the 5. Taken to the 28-yard line for the Denver Nightwings. Alex Jackson was on the return. And let's go over the offensive stars for Denver. Gene Struthers is the quarterback. The running backs are O'Shaughnessy and Mills. The wide receivers, Jackson, Keel, Mosley, and Lewis. Tight ends are Wheeler and Arthur. And the kicker, Hudson James. Those are your offensive stars for Denver as they are taking on this 1st and 10 with split backs in the backfield. Struthers drops back and gets sacked by Max Knight. He's been a sack machine. Let's go over defensive stars for Minnesota. Representing the defensive line is Mello, Raven, Angela Meerkat, Burr, Johnson, and Max Knight. The linebackers, Clay, Gibson, Black, Mississippi. The corners are Fracile, Evans, Griffin, and Bravo. The safeties, Wright, and Derek Meerkat. Those are your defensive stars from Minnesota as they forced a 2nd and 16 after that 6-yard sack. Mosley in motion, making this a 2-2 formation. Bailey O'Shaughnessy the lone setback. Struthers will drop back and pass again. Has a receiver and is tipped. 3rd down, 16 coming up.
Yeah, already you see Denver there kind of going backwards very quick. Of course, you have great defensive pressure by Minnesota. You saw Knight come through with the sack, and then they only had 3 on the line, but they had a great job of dropping back into coverage there to make the deflection. And as we said, Denver already forced them to figure out a big 3rd down here.
3rd and 16, ball at 21. Minnesota showing blitz. They pick it up, and that pass was off target. Incomplete. Logan Kill was the intended receiver. 4th down coming up.
Great defensive stand for Minnesota. That's something that they want to see. As we know, last week they had difficulty slowing down that Houston offense. You and I were both there to see that. So the fact that they have an opportunity to come in, get a quick 3 and out, going to make them feel good. And now Denver has to rely on their defense coming up.
And here's the punt. Fielded inside the 40. Stopped at the 41. On the return was number 32. Rick Evans was over the offensive stars for the Legend. Johnny Reno's the quarterback. Colin Hart is the halfback. Wide receivers are Kalia, Powell, Mam, and Taylor. Tight ends are Hayden and Franks. The offensive guards, Dusty Wilson. The kicker and punter, respectively, for Minnesota, Mickey and Minnie Melillo. Those are your offensive stars for Minnesota. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 41. Francis in motion. A little bit slow getting the snap off. But Reno will drop back the pass and has a receiver for a first down. That is number 19, Ben Calia, 1st and 10 for Minnesota. Let's go over defensive stars for Denver. Representing the defensive line is Brady, Reynosa, Cumbus, and Puff. The linebackers represented by Quintana, Killebrew, and Forge. The corners, Jones, Kindler, Schreiner, and Santagria. The safeties, DeVore and Strike Vader. Those are your defensive stars for Denver. It's 1st and 10 at the 48 of Denver. This pass is thrown inside, caught for a 4-yard gain by Calia again. Second straight catch.
Yeah, so Reno early looking for Vin Calia as his main man, and certainly it's a good one. Johnny Reno has a lot of weapons that he can use at his disposal, so that's going to be a big challenge for this Denver defense to keep them all in check.
Reno went over 11K last week in the loss versus Houston. This will be Colin Hart's first carry of the drive, and it's a 6-yard gain. Sorry, it's a couple-yard gain. It's now 3rd and 4.
Does a good job there, Dusty Killebrew, coming in and really containing Colin Hart. That's going to be the key for this Denver defense, just contain him. Now, you may not be able to stop him, but you can limit what he is able to do, and that's a good example of it right there.
Just formation near side as Reno drops back, pass over the middle, caught by Jason Franz. He's off to the races. He will not be caught, and that is a Minnesota Legend touchdown.
Well, there you go, right there, right out of the gate. Instead of the run that we talked about coming in, all of a sudden you see Johnny Reno and this Legend offense go with a very pass-heavy series of plays, and that worked to perfection. A wonderful job right there by Reno, dropping back, delivering a perfectly thrown football, and really what more can you say, Jason Vance, with the nice over-the-shoulder reception, great blocking by that offensive line, and what a way to come out of the gate here for Minnesota.
Yeah, just like last week, Jason Franz is making a huge impact. That is his 18th touchdown of his career. Minnesota's up 7-0 with 7:50 left in the first quarter. And if you're new to Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the new stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. New and old stars. This return by Jackson, nice spin move. Great field position for Denver. It will be 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. And Cameron, I'm kind of shocked that Denver didn't go to Bailey O'Shaughnessy in the first drive. Do you think they're going to feed him the ball in this possession?
I think they definitely need to. I mean, obviously you want to mix up your pass game as well with your run, but he is the workhorse for this team, and I think that you allow him to run it, open up some lanes, then you go with the passing game. I would expect them to turn to him right here, already down 7 points.
Both Mills and O'Shaughnessy's in the backfield, but they're going to go pass again. 4th straight pass. Just barely got it away. Intended to Bailey O'Shaughnessy, but it falls harmlessly to the turf.
Good pressure, really good pressure by the defense right there. Just coming around the edge, and honest to goodness, he was lucky to get that one out. That looked like that could have been a sack or even could have been an interception had it been just a couple seconds difference there.
Formation, 3 wide receivers set. 2nd down, 10 coming up. This will be a swings pass to O'Shaughnessy. He makes the first man miss, breaks another tackle. A nice 7-yard gain will be 3rd and 3 coming up.
And that's why you work Bailey O'Shaughnessy. You know, that he is one of those guys that he will wear you down. He'll wear you down quicker than what he will wear down. Let's just put it that way. And so when that happens, that again tires out the defense and really opens up a lot of opportunities.
O'Shaughnessy with over 2,000 yards receiving in his career, 13 TDs. And Struthers finally passes it, and that could have been picked off by Derek Metcalf. Good job by Arthur to make sure that didn't happen, but it's 4th and 3 for Denver.
4th and 3, and again, just like you mentioned, T-Roy, they decided to go on a short yardage situation with the pass instead of the run. I think they may have been expecting Minnesota to anticipate run, try to switch it up a little bit, but nevertheless, that didn't work out for them. So already another quick turnover here.
Evans is back to field this punt inside the 20, but gets stopped right away at the 24-yard line by Luke Schreiner. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Minnesota. And as we talked about earlier, tonight's matchup between these two teams is the first ever matchup. It's kind of weird, even though Minnesota's only been here for 3 seasons, that this is their first matchup, but they're late and never here in Colorado. Offset I towards the far side, where Reno and company and Hart will get the carry. Follows his blockers, and that gets a 5-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, a great job on first down, already chipping away at 5 yards there. And you mentioned this being their first matchup. You know, Denver, 2-time SFL champions, although they've yet to have a winning record since that season 16 championship. A lot of rookies on this team looking to turn it around. They're going to get a lot of experience with Colin Hart coming at them, and this offense coming quick.
And he'll get the carry once again. Goes inside. Could have went outside, got more yardage, but it'll be 3rd and 2 coming up.
Yeah, good job there. One of the very rare times that you see Colin Hart maybe choose, I don't want to say incorrectly, but there was definitely room to run there. So Denver kind of gets a little break there and is able to contain him to just a couple yards.
An important 3rd and 2 coming up for the Night Wings defense. France is in motion again. He caught a 46-yard touchdown on the opening possession. But this will be another Colin Hart carry. Goes up the gut, gets the first down and more. Continues to break tackles, carrying defenders. Poor Hugo Reynosa. He got carried for 10 extra yards after contact. It'll be another first down for Minnesota.
Yeah, Reynoso was just going on a ride right there. Take a look at Hart. He's a tough guy to bring down. And, you know, that is the strength to Colin Hart, as he keeps those legs churning. He's very powerful in that area right there. And not only is he elusive, he can also do some heavy, tough running when you need him to.
That 14-yard carry by Hart makes it 1st and 10 at Minnesota's 46. We see another Colin Hart run. 5:35 left in the first quarter. This will be a swing pass to Hart. He has open field ahead, breaks another tackle. He was breaking that first tackle before he gets stopped by Quintana. It'll be 2nd and 2 after that 8-yard reception.
Yeah, they slowed him up just enough there for Quintana to come in and make the tackle, and they're going to hurry up here. That screen design worked really well because Denver brought the pressure, and Reno just dropped it off to Hart and let him do the work.
Offset I near side for the legend, wearing the white jerseys with gray pants and black helmets. Hart goes up the middle, hurdles the defender, and gets the first down before his ribs got cracked. Tackle made by Forbes, but not after he got the first.
Yeah, a good hit laid on him there, that's for sure. But as you said, after the first down was already made. One thing that I'm seeing Denver is going to have to do is they're going to have to keep them from getting in these short yardage situations because they can tear them up in a hurry.
Colin Hart over 14,000 yards rushing. He's currently ranked 4th all-time in the SFL history. This pass over the middle is tipped and falls harmlessly to the turf. Incomplete. Quintana with the pass deflection.
Yeah, Quintana again getting in on the action. Did a really nice job there. I don't know that he was really in a good position there to try to make that interception, but he did a good job to get his hand around and swat that one away.
Split backs, 2nd and 10 for the legend. Ball in between the 41 and 42-yard line of Denver. Reno rolls out, passes, and it's somehow caught by Jay Taylor. And he takes it inside the red zone. It'll be 1st and 10 for the legend. Their offense has been on fire since the word go.
They really come off the bus with they hit the ground running, let's put it that way, and they continue to do so. Another great drive. And take a look at this great route, cuts, and look at that. Honestly, Reno really just threaded the needle there, and then Taylor was able to do the rest. Let's give kudos to that offensive line. I am telling you, they give Reno so much time. I think he could eat a sandwich back there and get a soda and still get the pass off before somebody gets to him. It's incredible what they're doing at the moment.
Santa Greer had a chance to pick that off, mistimed that, and that resulted in a 30-yard reception. This will be an inside handoff. The Hart breaks one tackle, breaks another, a very impressive 4-yard gain before he's stopped by Brady.
Yeah, good fight with that one. And it is, this offensive line, continuing with that point, they really make a lot of things happen. And it's obvious that that's where the brute work takes place because that allows Reno and Hart to really break free.
2nd and 6. They can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Reno is rolling out once again, pass to the middle, caught for a touchdown. And we're going to go ahead and call that the nice hands catch of the game. That nice hands catch is brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23. And that was a great toe drag swag catch by Powell.
Yeah, Deezer Powell, look at that. That's a thing of beauty. That's why we love football, watching these athletes do these really almost contortions of the body. Let's also give credit to Reno. That was a great fake and a wonderful rollout. That really, I think, made this Denver defense completely bumfuzzled, and that allowed the open receiver in the backfield.
That was Reno's 64th touchdown in his career. Powell's 99th, one away from 100. And Minnesota's up 14-0. For all the league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future. Right now, here's the future of Denver. Jackson, he takes it to Denver's 24-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Night Wings. And Cameron, Denver's offense averages 107 yards rushing per game, while they averaging 152 receiving per game entering tonight's action. You figure they'll be giving O'Shaughnessy the ball a lot more than they have so far.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, it's not too far in, don't get too desperate here. You're not too far behind that you have to throw out your original game plan. I think you need to go to what works, your meat and potatoes. That's Bailey O'Shaughnessy. I'd be getting him the ball quickly.
Him or even R.E. Mills, a great fullback for Denver. It'll be 1st and 10. They will give it to Mills. And he breaks the tackle. A nice 7-yard gain. You ask and you shall receive. It'll be 2nd and 3. And yes, Ron Kozak. Cameron did say bumfuzzle.
I did. Yeah, stick around. I might say it again. That right there is in my dictionary, I guess you would say. But, yeah, stunned. We'd put it that way. That Denver defense was completely stunned on that rollout by Reno.
Ron done messed up. Anyway, 2nd and 3. Carried by Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Carries up the gut. That will be a first down before he's game tackle led by Juan, Mississippi, but not after he got that first down.
Yeah, nice job right there by O'Shaughnessy again. Because, see, that's what he can do. He's a sturdy, stocky little running back, and he's very hard to bring down. I know I've said that, and it's kind of almost it's second nature. Everybody knows this, but even though you know that he's coming at you, same with Colin Hart, getting him down is a lot easier said than done.
We got offset eye heading towards the near side, and that's where that run's going to. O'Shaughnessy breaks the tackle, hurdles the man, gets 7 yards on that carry. It'll be 2nd and 3 after that impressive run.
Very impressive, and I like that they're starting to go with this again, T-Roy. And that time they decided to get him around the edge. Good blocking up front. Obviously, he had to take a couple of tackles loose there, but that is already beginning to work well for them. And I wonder, had they went that route on the 2 prior series, I don't think you would have seen those 3-and-out drives.
Looks like the roles have been reversed. O'Shaughnessy's the fullback. Mills is the halfback in this formation. 2nd and 3 coming up. And Shores will hand it off to number 44. He gets the first down. Another great run by R.E. Mills, and the drive will stay alive.
Yeah, I like this. I have to say, I enjoy that they're switching things up a little bit, going with the 2-back tandem there. I think it's got Minnesota on their heels just a little bit.
And now it's back to normal. Mills the fullback. O'Shaughnessy's the halfback. Offset eye towards the near side. And that'll be a carry in that direction. O'Shaughnessy breaks the first tackle, makes the second. He breaks the third. Yes, he does. Gets the first down and more. He's off to the races. Finally gets stopped by Miles Gibson, but not after another impressive run by number 30.
My goodness, that was just a thing of beauty to watch. That's why it's so much fun to watch Bailey O'Shaughnessy, because he, as we watch in this replay right here, 1 tackle, 2 tackles. We're going to get a third right here, and he's still I believe, manages to stay in bounds. Now, that was really towing the line right there, kind of walking a tightrope, but a really, really good job. And I wondered if we might see a flag being thrown, and there we are.
And let's take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at GoRetroid.com. And they're going to challenge just that to see if O'Shaughnessy wasn't able to walk that fine line here. Here we go. All right. There. It's very close. This is a better view. I think he may have got away with it.
You know, I feel like it's close. I don't know if they're going to be enough to be able to overturn it here.
They did rule in favor of Minnesota. O'Shaughnessy stepped out of bounds, and where he stepped out was before the first down marker. So great job by Minnesota with that challenge.
Yeah, it really was, and it was by the smallest of margins. As you can see, it pretty much come down to the side of his foot and the heel area, just really grazing that white paint. So a really good job, a good eye right there by Minnesota, keeping an eye out for that and coming out with a really nice challenge.
Split backs to the backfield on this now 2nd and 2 at the 40. And the Stars just get the pass off, and it is caught for a first down. Great catch by Chris Arthur, and it'll be 1st and 10.
Wonderful job by Arthur, and really a good play call. Nice job by this Denver offense deciding to go with a pass instead of what really I think was an anticipated run. Instead, and take a look at him right there fighting to get perfect placement to bring that reception in, and a good job by Chris Arthur to come up with that reception.
That 16-yard reception was a well-contested reception between Arthur and Daniel Wright. Cody Griffin, that was 24. Arthur won that matchup. Is now 1st and 10 at the 25. This will be a swing pass to O'Shaughnessy, who has room to roam. What a great shoestring tackle by Stephen Black. Otherwise, O'Shaughnessy could have more yards than the 5-yard gain.
It's a good thing Stephen Black is 6'5", because he used every bit of his height there to reach out and get that last shoestring. O'Shaughnessy was about to bust free, so a really nice shoestring tackle.
2nd and 5 coming up. Split backs in the backfield. Once again for Denver. Minnesota's definitely crowding the box. We got a tight end in motion. That's Keith Wheeler, number 46. And it'll be a carry. O'Shaughnessy goes up the middle. That's a first down. And they're inside the red zone. It'll be 1st and 10 for Denver with just 17 seconds left in the first quarter.
That was a great play, T-Roy. And really, you could see right there on the edge, they're bringing blitz. And just a great execution by the big offensive lineman up front, and allowed O'Shaughnessy to sneak through there before they could get to him. And I think that could do us, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was about to say the same thing. That could be the last play, and it is the final play of the first quarter. Right now, Minnesota has a nice lead, 14-0, but Denver is marching for potential points. You're watching the Simulation Football League live on YouTube, presented by APM Music. And we're back with the Commissioner Cameron Irvine. Back at SFL headquarters, Ron Haynes and Ricky Robertson on stats. This is T-Word Games with Cameron Duty. We got 1st and 10 coming up. O'Shaughnessy with a nice sidestep, and he fought to get those 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5 coming up for the Nightwings.
That was a hard-earned 5 yards, because it looked like that play was about to get stunted right out from the gate, honestly. And a nice job right there picking up the 5 yards, a much more manageable 2nd down here.
And we got the roles reversed once again. Ari Mills is the halfback. He gets the carry, bounces outside, and get to just 1 yard away from the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 coming up after that nice game by Ari Mills.
Oh, a really good job of R.E. Mills making up some real estate right there and just about converting. Now, I think it's safe to say, as you see them crowd the line, you've got them showing blitz. They know what's coming, or at least what they're expecting. Will they go through with the run? I think, personally, you have to.
You'll see. O'Shaughnessy up the gut. Fullback dive successful. And that's Billy O'Shaughnessy's 60th rushing touchdowns career. It's now set as 8-point deficit.
And there you go. That's exactly what we've talked about. You can anticipate it. You can even think you know how to stop it. But when you get good offensive movement by the offensive line guys, it's just hard. You got somebody like O'Shaughnessy coming through the holes, and there were no denying him. And that was a really nice drive, a really nice way to respond to the quick 14 points that Minnesota put up. That slowed the pace down a little bit, worked in Denver's favor.
James will make this a 7-point deficit with 9:08 left in the first half. And guys, you liking the game so far? Please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Right now, Evans has a nice return. He takes it to the 29-yard line, and this will be Minnesota's third possession coming up. Surprisingly, this is their third possession, but both their first two ended up in points.
It really did. We've not had an opportunity. I don't believe Minnesota's even had to get the kicking unit out there yet, and we're into the second quarter. They haven't got off the field yet, that they haven't ended up in the end zone. So we'll see if this Denver defense is a little pumped up and can respond to what their offense was able to do.
Here we go, 1st and 10. Hart gets the carry, breaks first tackle, has the outside. He's off to the races. He has the edge. He has open room ahead. He will not be stopped. That will be an easy 150th rushing touchdown, Colin Hart's career.
Well, if you're going to make a milestone such as 150 touchdowns, you might as well do it in style, right? I'll go ahead and say it again for all you out there in the chat. The entire defense for Denver was bum-fuzzled. Because simply take a look at Colin Hart. He busts wide open, and take a look at this. It's a foot race, and they're not going to get him. I mean, the guy's too quick. Now, it did look like there was an opportunity right there to lunge forward, but I don't think the big man had it in him. He was trying to chase him down, and a beautiful, beautiful play. And just that little momentum that we saw Denver starting to kind of cultivate is shut down, and this crowd just about goes silent.
Hart goes over 100 yards rushing. After that 71-yard rushing TD, again, his 150th. He ranks second all time in that rushing in that category. He gives Minnesota another 14-point lead with 8:52 left. And like Brian Lovely says, Colin, the Hall of Fame is watching.
No, that's for sure. Yeah, that was wonderful. Expect that to be on the highlight reel for many days to come.
Let's see if Denver can get a highlight right here. A decent return. That's Dylan Lewis giving his team good field position at their own 29. And that's where Denver will start their next drive. Denver, we haven't mentioned their uniform set up. White helmets with a nice, teal blue jersey and pants?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's a nice color scheme for sure.
I'm so used to Denver wearing also the black or navy blue. And, of course, they have those nice Vice War uniforms. When them and Vegas face each other. Ooh, there's O'Shaughnessy, breaks the tackle. Oh, he had 7 yards, but if he was able to bounce that outside, that could have been a house call for 6. It would be 2nd and 3 instead.
So close to busting that one out on his own. Look at that. If he had been able to have stayed a little more upright and not wandered into the arms of that waiting defender right there, he would have been gone to the house. This really is becoming, in my opinion, like I said, it's going to be a matchup between the two running backs, and where they're exchanging jabs right now. We saw O'Shaughnessy first and then Hart again.
Here goes O'Shaughnessy, goes up the middle. He gets stuffed, but not after he got the first down. Tackle made by number 37, Derek Meerkat.
It's obvious that the Denver defense is going to have to come up with an answer. What that might be, I'm not 100% sure yet, because Minnesota has been able to respond both in the air and on the ground. But it's obvious that this Denver offense is going to have to keep them in this game at the moment.
And that's a nice pass to Jeremy Mosley for a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 coming up. And believe it or not, let's look at this disparity here. Minnesota Legend total 31 games so far in their career. Wow, this is their 32nd game. Denver, 13 seasons, This is their 162nd game as O'Shaughnessy gets it to a 3-1 situation. Total wins, 18 so far for Minnesota and County, while Denver, 87.
Yeah, and it's amazing, T-Roy, like you mentioned, seeing where both of these teams are at right now. You've got Denver, as we said, two-time champions, a lot of rookies. They're really in a rebuilding period. And you've got Minnesota putting all the pieces together. They're in two totally different sides of the spectrum right now.
And great job by O'Shaughnessy. The defense of Minnesota was pushing the O-lineman and his lead blockers back, but O'Shaughnessy still was able to get that first down.
And putting up numbers and quickly, as you can see right there on the stats. But, O'Shaughnessy is a 5-season guy here with Denver. He's never went anywhere. He's stayed loyal to this organization, and they lead and lean on him.
And this will be a pass and another great catch by Jeremy Losley. He climbed that ladder, still got his ribs destroyed, but got that first down anyway.
And talking about getting ribs destroyed, Gene Struthers, number 10, the quarterback, he knew he was in for a shot. Actually, he was able to elude the big hit. It looked like he was about to get completely beamed, but instead he delivers a really nice pass, held onto that ball, just enough time to allow his receiver Mosley to, as you said, climb the ladder to get that beautiful reception.
We go 1st and 10 coming up. Mosley's in motion. We're going to have two wide receivers near side. Split back formation. O'Shaughnessy with a good carry. Breaks the first tackle. He bounces outside. He's off to the races. He will not be denied. Billy O'Shaughnessy with his second touchdown today. That's 61 of his career.
My goodness. What fun we're having tonight in Denver. As we said, it was Hart before. Well, it was O'Shaughnessy before that. Hart responded. And again, a 34-yard touchdown run. Thanks to the stats guys for getting that information so quickly. Take a look at that run. Right out front. I mean, he gets another gear, and he's so hard to bring down. And these two running backs are just such a joy to watch. I mean, it's one of the things that we highlighted about this game, isn't it? We knew that there'd be a lot of fun to be had between these two running backs.
O'Shaughnessy had the wherewithal to bounce it outside. That run was originally intended up the middle, but he was able to bounce it to the outside, take it for a 30-yard touchdown run, like you said, and now it's back to a 7-point deficit with 6 minutes and 3 seconds left in the first half. And we got fireworks so far. While it's a well-balanced attack for Minnesota, it's been it's starting to get a little bit more balanced attack from Denver's offense now.
Yeah, indeed.
And number 28, that is Nicholas Fracil. Returned that kick to the 30-yard line. And another note from stats, 5 of the last 6 drives has resulted in TDs. Also, at halftime, probably starting the third quarter at this point, Houston is up 10-6 over LA. Here we go. The only 2 times it wasn't resulted in points was Denver's first 2 drives. Since then, it's been nothing but TDs. 1st and 10 as Hart gets the carry. And Denver had enough of his foolishness. Only a 1-yard gain on that run.
Yeah, I think that is the big question that remains to be answered. Can this Denver defense apply enough pressure to this Minnesota offense to slow down the charge? We can see that the Denver offense can keep up, but you're down by 7 right now. You're really needing a big stop to try to even the score here.
Reno will throw it over the middle, and that's caught by Kalia. It'll be 1st and 10 coming up for the legend.
Looks like right now for Denver, there's a lot of holes right there in the secondary. It just looks as if they're kind of playing a little bit of pitch and catch right now when it comes to Reno and Kalia. They've been able to connect a couple of times already in today's game. And so you're kind of just waiting to see if this Night Wings defense is going to lock down. Bend is fine, but, you can't break. And we haven't been able to see them really stand up and make a stop yet.
Offset eye towards the near side for the legend. But this will be another pass. Reno will throw it over the middle. France somehow caught it in spite of the fact that Quintana was basically all over him like white on rice. That's a 7-yard reception.
Yeah, Minnesota, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns so far. As we said, their punter hasn't even had to see the field yet. He's just kind of sitting over there next to the water cooler, taking it easy.
Yeah, Minnie Milletto is just chilling right now. As Colin Hart gets the carry, a nice tackle by Luke Schreiner. That rookie, the 81st pick of this past draft, would be 3rd and 3 coming up.
And they have such good talent, such good young talent, as we've mentioned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rookies on that defensive roster, as I counted them quickly. It's amazing, really, what this young team is doing.
And they will only get better as time goes along. 3rd and 3 coming up. And it looks like we have Deezer Pal in motion. He motions to the far side. Will this be another Colin Hart carry? No, this will be a nice shovel pass. Ooh! Bang, bang play. Incomplete. 4th down coming up. And this will be the first time Minnesota doesn't come away with points.
Yeah, and you look, Malillo will finally get to see the field there. That is the first 3. I'm not going to say 3 and out, but that is the first time that they've had to punt it away. And Denver's going to be feeling pretty good about themselves.
Minnie Milillo averaging 34 yards per punt. And Denver will let this ball bounce and will fall inside the end zone. So that'll be a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Nightwings at their own 20.
And that was a really nice hit, too, there in the secondary by Denver to make sure that even though that pass was originally kind of deflected, still up in the air, it was not going to be brought down for reception, just kind of ensuring that they would face 4th down here. And Denver has to be feeling good. Good opportunity to get in this thing and tie it up.
Here we go, 1st and 10 for Nightwings. Chris Offer, the man in motion. Split backs. This will be a carry to the Shaughnessy. You had a nice run in the previous possession. And this is a good start to this drive. Carrying defenders for an 8-yard gain. Be 2nd and 2 coming up.
Yeah, the guy just won't quit. I think sometimes his legs will continue to churn until he digs a hole in the turf. But that's really, honestly, that's what it takes, is that grit and determination. And as mentioned in the chat, very important to try to get a score here before halftime. If you can go in with this thing tied or at least marginally close to it, and maybe even a field goal, that's something to feel really good about.
O'Shaughnessy gets another carry and barely got the 1st down. Now, Minnesota already challenged one play. I'm not for sure they're going to be willing to challenge this one this early in the game.
It was a generous spot, yeah. It was a generous spot for sure right there. I think he ended up just shy of the markers, but from the ref's perspective, it's a 1st down, and they're going to take it.
And Shores will drop back, but gets sacked once again. This time is by Buster Johnson, a 6-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 16.
Buster Johnson, 6'1", 325 pounds, and he laid all 325 of it right there on Struthers, and I believe that's the first sack we have seen today, if I'm not mistaken, and really that was disheartening, because what that does is that kind of throws off the offensive scheme that Denver tries to run here.
I believe Max Knight may have gotten a sack earlier in the game, so this should be their second one.
Thank you.
It's all good. Mosley was in motion, 2nd and 16. Struthers will fire this, and it didn't matter. That's a catch, but unfortunately someone's hurt. That's Nicholas Frostia, number 28. He was injured on that play, but it'll still be a 1st down for Denver. Hopefully he will be all right. If we see him walk the field, he could come back. Yeah, he's walking up. Well, he still looks kind of hurt, though.
Yeah, a little gimpy there. Nicholas Frostel there, he is the rookie, his 1st season here in the SFL, and doing a really nice job. You hate to see him go out, but maybe they can get him checked out, tape him up, and get him back out there for his team. What a great job right there responding on that 2nd and long by Denver, by the way.
That was a 22-yard reception. 1st and 10 coming up. And O'Shaughnessy gets the carry. Breaks the first couple of tackles, but it'll be a 3-yard gain. Stephen Black with the stop.
I think you can see with this tempo and this pace, Denver very methodical, whereas Minnesota, they can eat up a lot of yards in a hurry. But I think if you're Denver, you're just going to be comfortable to ride this out to the 2-minute warning and then hopefully maintain possession for the majority of the next 2 minutes.
Denver's marching down the field, hoping to tie it up. We're at the 2-minute warning. You're watching Simulation Football League live on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Jack's Data has Denver with 7.5. Over under 57.5. We'll see if we're getting close to that. We'll see if the scoring streak continues. As RE Mills do get the carry. Just avoid that running back who's trying to blitz. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming up as Mills is slow to get up.
Yeah, a little slow to get up there. And like you said, he did a good job of avoiding what would have been really pretty much a tackle for a loss, rather. It would have been a TFL. So instead now, big 3rd down here, looking to convert.
And Mills is still the lone snapback. We don't see O'Shaughnessy there. And Struthers will fire it wide open. There's a flag on the play. This will be a touchdown by Logan Kilby. He doesn't get stopped from showboating. We got to see what the flag is. We could have a tie game.
Yeah, if this stands, I'm afraid they could get maybe some holding. Oh.
Roughing.
Clipping.
It's clipping. Blocking the... Oh, it's roughing the passer. Never mind.
Oh, excuse me. Wow. Okay.
Cody Griffin gets called for the penalty. And still, we have 1 point away from a tie game. Excuse me.
I have to tell you, T-Roy, that when you see a wide receiver get as wide open as Logan Hill was, you almost expect that something has happened on the offensive line. There may be some holding or something that has just held somebody up, but no, instead ripping the quarterback. And Denver coming out with a huge offensive drive. Man, we've got ourselves a ball game. 48-yard touchdown pass there, T-Roy.
That was a great answer. And Denver has tied us up with 1:25 left. And I do believe that Cody Griffin was the guy who was originally covering that wide receiver side to go on that cornerback blitz. And Minnesota paid for it just like Rick Evans paid on that return. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 28.
Well, you know, they say you live by the blitz and sometimes you die by the blitz. And I think that was one of those situations where they brought everything but the kitchen sink, basically. And it just, it caught them. They got bit on that one.
We got a tie ball game here, mid-21. Remember, Minnesota will get the ball first in the second half. As Reno will drop back. Has plenty of time. Can Ryan Novel. And that time was time well spent because that was a great catch by Kalia, and Minnesota would burn their first timeout.
Yeah, you know, Kalia has been the main man so far in the passing category. We saw some receptions there to France as well, but Queg Mam and Deezer Powell, we've heard less of them in this game. And we know they're there. Look at Reno's numbers, and he hasn't even started spreading the ball around to them yet.
Yeah, Minnesota's been pretty balanced. Their rushing attack and their passing attack's been on point for the most part. This will be a pass over the middle. Great job by Denver making sure that pass wasn't complete. It'll be 2nd and 10 coming up.
That was a really beautiful play right there, and a good job. I believe it was Lucas DeVore, the 3rd-year man, who came in and did just a fantastic job of really not intercepting that one, but just deflecting it away.
Hart is now in motion, making this a bunch formation near side. And Reno will roll out to that side, and it's caught by Taylor. It'll be 1st and 10. Minnesota burns their second timeout.
When in doubt, go for the rollout. That has helped them so much in this game. How many times have we already seen it that Reno rolls out like that and he's able to locate his man? That's something that Denver hasn't really been able to stop just yet.
They're about to have me quote Ludacris in a second. Roll out. That's all they've been doing. Oh, no. Notice the side. For a first down by Jason France to be first and goal coming up, and they're now in a hurry up.
Oh,
I
my
don't
God.
like this formation, though, this close in the end zone. We'll see what happens. It'll be a quick pass to France. He said, I don't care, T-Roy. We're going to score a touchdown right here.
Well, what a couple of events that transpired there in the last few seconds, really. Going back to the play before this, a great job of ringing him. Somehow, for all intents and purposes, he should have been sacked. Instead, they hurry up, they stay with the very same formation, and instead of looking to the wide receivers, he just dumps it off right there to who else? His man Jason France, and they respond and take the lead back before halftime.
And things stand pat. Minnesota will have a chance to double a dip. They're up by 7 with 46 seconds left in the first half. That last pass before the touchdown was a 27-yard pass. Jason France just got his second touchdown of the game. Now making 19 for his career. And great pump by Mickey Millell, but it is fielded in its return. Great job by Dylan Lewis to get to the 24-yard line. 4 extra yards. It'll be first and 10 at the 24.
And you're going to have to really, in my opinion, I think you're going to have to try to see if you've got some shots downfield. You know, you've got 41 seconds left to play with. And if you can get some points up on the board to try to narrow that 7-point margin, that would be big right now.
Here we go, first and 10 coming up. Strutters will pass it. And got another man that's killed. And Denver burned their first timeout of the half. That is almost the same play that they got burnt at the end of the last drive.
Yeah, they really felt like they could go back and kind of tap into that again, and there they were able to. A little bit better defended by Minnesota. At least he wasn't able to break away on the big reception, but still a nice gain, and that's going to do a lot for them trying to get in the field goal position here.
And Sharks will pass over the middle. Great job by number 58, Juan Mississippi, patting that ball away. Second and 10 coming up.
You could tell the Strutter's eyes was on Kiel the entire way on that play, and that in turn made it easy for Minnesota and Mississippi in particular to step up and make the deflection.
32 seconds left. Denver will at least want to end the half, cutting into this deficit here. That Sharks will get it. Quick pass, and it's caught. That is off there once again. Denver will burn their second timeout, and that's another first down.
That's such a good job. I mean, it really is. Denver has done a really nice job. Like I said, had they not had the early 3 and outs in this game, I don't think they wouldn't have to be playing from behind, in my opinion.
Playing from behind makes it a tough hill to climb, but if there's any team that can do it, it's definitely these Nightwings, the 2-time champions. Lewis was in motion. Sharks drop back. Should have been picked off by Cody Griffith. He had the case of the Butterfingers, and the ball will fall harmlessly to the turf.
Folks, check on your Denver Nightwing fans and fellow friends there, because they may not be okay after that one. I could have very well seen some cardiac issues going on there. I mean, it looked like that was that was intercepted. It just never fully happened.
And then Denver lives to fight another down. R.E. Mills makes it an offset I formation to the near side. And this will be a carry by the Shines. He breaks the first tackle, breaks another one, has a chance to bust it loose. One man to beat. O'Shaughnessy will take this to the house.
No.
He steps out of bounds. This could have been a touchdown, but instead it'll be first and goal.
You very rarely see a blunder of that proportion by Bailey O'Shaughnessy. You can't really, what do you say? That's a wonderful play, but just unfortunately kind of lacked a sense of awareness at where he was at there on the field and allowed himself to just step outside. Now it's first and goal, and if you're Minnesota, you're thinking, well, we just got handed a little bit of a gift. If we can stop them right here to anything, less than a touchdown, then we got to be feeling really good. My goodness.
Denver has one timeout left. O'Shaughnessy, 141 yards rushing after contact. This is a sack, and Denver will burn the final timeout. And will that unfortunate blunder cost Denver 7 points? They at least got a chance to get a field goal right now.
I really hope that. Oh man, I hope this isn't something we end up having to talk about at the end of this game, as well as it's been played by both of these units.
Unfortunately, that's like the second time O'Shaughnessy stepped out of bounds by accident. It'll cost them 3 points. It'll cost them 4 points, excuse me. Denver gets the field goal. It's now a 4-point deficit.
Obviously, we'll be talking about that throughout the course of this game. And, hey, how do you erase a small blunder like that? Well, you win this thing, and Denver's going to have to keep their foot on the gas. You're still good to come away with some points. Kind of surprised they didn't take one more shot towards the corner of the end zones at least, just kind of see if they could get a pass in there, but they felt conservative there with the field goal, and I understand that.
And Evans will take it to the 30-yard line, and we'll see if Minnesota's going to be feeling kind of greedy or they will be content only up by 4 points. But, man, I can't help but feel sorry for O'Shaughnessy. That was an easy touchdown, just unfortunately stepped out of bounds.
It really was.
He'll be back the second half.
Exactly. I mean, we've not heard the last of Bailey O'Shaughnessy. We've got 2 more quarters to watch this guy run. So I think he's going to have more than enough opportunities to make up for that small blunder. He's played a wonderful game today.
Both running backs have. They'll be first and 10, 3 seconds left. And this will be a pass that almost could have been intercepted. Instead, Paul hammers to the turf, and that's how this exciting first half will end. And if you're betting the under, you're definitely sweating bullets if you haven't lost already. It is 28-24, Minnesota with a 4-point lead as we reach halftime. And as you mentioned before, Cameron, this is going to be the battle of the running backs, and both running backs haven't disappointed.
No, not at all. This has been primetime football at its finest. Like they say, get your popcorn ready because you have saw a little bit of everything in this first half. We have saw great offensive plays as you take a look at the snapshots of the half. We saw shoestring tackles. We saw toe-tapping touchdown receptions. And then we saw the 2 running backs, Bailey O'Shaughnessy and Colin Hart, both coming up with big-time plays in the running game. They've really spearheaded the offensive efforts so far. Obviously, we know it's a 4-point deficit, and that out-of-bounds issue there at the end of the half is really the difference that separates the 2 teams. But I tell you what, it's a lot of fun, a great game so far. We've got 2 more quarters to play, and I don't think the scoring is over. As a matter of fact, I think it's far from over. This game could still go either way.
We're about to get ready to start the second half. Again, with the commissioner, Cameron Irvine back at SFL headquarters, Ron Haynes and Ricky Robinson on stats. This is T-Roy Gaines alongside Cameron Dewey, and Minnesota will get the ball first. And Evans, no, we got a new player in the game. Number 21 returns it. And that was a great return. And we're going to go ahead and head to the SFL headquarters for a game break. Cam, please take it away.
Thank you, T-Roy. Los Angeles playing their best game of the night, or the best game of their season. Will it be enough? Sully Richardson drops back with a clean pocket and fires in the back of the end zone for a touchdown to Elsie Pryor, but Houston strikes back with G.P. Wells. Josh Slapp has exited the game hurt, as has Goldie Morrison, but Houston still up 4 in the 4th. Back to you in Denver.
And Cameron, as we saw personally last week, they still got 2 other great running backs in the Houston backfield. That is a nice catch. I don't know if he got the first down. Did somebody? No, he did get the first down. A very generous spot by the ref there.
Yeah, absolutely. And boy, a good job of Kalia hang on to that one. I tell you, he is going to be sore after this game. He has put his body out there and caught the good majority of those 13 completions by Johnny Reno.
And Stephen Forrest, 265 pounds, laid the boom on him. And there's another player who laid the boom, Lucas DeVore. Make sure that Jason France was going to come away with that reception. It'll be 2nd and 10 coming up.
It's going to take physicality like that to play against these receivers. You don't want them to burn you. In the halftime break, we talked about, as we have all day long, Colin Hart. But now let's not forget, Jason France has 2 touchdowns too. So Minnesota, great output, both on the ground and in the air.
France, as you mentioned, great output, 85 yards receiving on 4 receptions. And great job by number 51, Dusty Kilbrew, filling that pass. It'll be 3rd and 10 coming up.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, T-Roy, but it seems like Denver has come out with a little bit of edge, doesn't it? A little bit more grittiness, a little bit more physicality on the defensive side to start the second half.
And if they can force a punt here, their offense has been basically improving since as the game goes along. They could wind up with the lead, but the defense got to do their part right now. Transformation to the far side, and the defense does just that. The linebacker, Luis Quintana, with the blitz, gets the first sack of the game, and it'll be 4th and 16.
We have called the rookie's name this entire game for this Denver defense, and he's been all over the place. He's had deflections, he's had pass rushes, and take a look at this sack. Just a great job right there. Really pretty much coming through unguarded. We've talked about that Minnesota offense. They haven't really given up a whole lot of sacks or tackles for loss even. Instead, though, that time he got through.
Here we go. Mini Malillo gets the no snap, but punts it away. Jackson waits for the fair catch, and Denver will start in great field position at their own 31-yard line. Now available, free to download. You can play the SFL video game on the go on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, the emulator for 4K23 in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at GoRetroid.com. Search SFL and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid, the official console of the SFL. Denver has the ball in great field position. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 31. The swing pass to R.E. Mills. And that's a very powerful stiff arm delivered to Johnny Bravo. It'll be 2nd and 7 after that 3-yard reception.
Well, I'm telling you, Denver is coming out firing. I think they're wanting to show that, yeah, we had to play from behind to get back, really scratch and claw our way back into this game. And I think they're ready to show some people that not only can they play catch-up, but they can pull out front and lead this thing, and really doing a good job of it so far, playing with a lot of confidence.
Here we go, 2nd and 7. We got R.E. Mills as the halfback, O'Shaughnessy the fullback. They've been doing this all game, switching it up. And it's be another swing pass to Mills. Mills, unfortunately, will lose a couple of yards. Actually, will lose a yard. Be 3rd and 6 coming up.
Yeah, that was just a really nice job of the defense there to snuff that out. Johnny Bravo, again, really kind of getting retribution for that nasty stiff arm that got put on him the play before. Instead, he gets his revenge and stops him for a loss.
Johnny Bravo just told R.E. Mills, come on, do the mucky woofy. If you got that reference, you got 5 T-Roy points. Anyway, that catch is made by Alex Jackson short of the first down. And that's not what the Night Wings was hoping for. It'll be 4th and 2 coming up.
Well, we noticed an absence of Bailey O'Shaughnessy to begin the second half, which I thought was kind of interesting. But now this must be, kind of a method to the way that they like to do things, because in that first quarter, if you remember, it was a couple series before they got him in as well. So something they're liking to try a little bit different to start these halves off.
Here we go. Minnesota will get the ball back at their own 26. It'll be 1st and 10 there. If Minnesota wins tonight, this will be their 5th win on the road all time. While if Denver wins, it'll be their 56th home win of all time. Denver's currently trailing by 4. as the fullback makes this an offset I formation near side. And Colin Hart gets the carry. Carries defender for about a 3-yard gain. Tackle made by Quintana, who got the sack at the end of the previous drive.
Yeah, we're just, like I said, calling his name left and right. He's doing a little bit of everything on that defensive front, and it's been one of the reasons why they have been able to tighten up on the last couple of series. They're allowing him to finally get some pressure on this Minnesota offense.
Quick step. This will be a swing pass to Hart, who has room to roam, but decides to do a spin move. And Quintana having none of that.
Yeah, who else? I just almost jumped out of my chair there when I seen him flying in for that stop. My goodness, what an afternoon this young player's having.
5 tackles and 1 sack. 33 coming up. Jason France will be in motion towards the far side. Can we see it run in that direction? No. Instead, this will be a pass. To the near side, caught by Kalia, and the drive will stay alive. And Kalia coming through clutch for the legend.
I think Kalia is going to actually have to have a little bit of extra ice therapy there. Or something. I mean, the guy has really laid it all out on the line trying to come up with some of these receptions. And in my opinion, really having one of his best games of the entire season as far as targets and reliability.
And his ribs and his back must be hurting after that. He got a 2-hit combo. But it helps extend this drive. 1st and 10 coming up. It looks like we got a blitz happening from Forge. And Forge gets there alongside Robert Brady. We'll call that a combo sack. 2nd and 14.
Oh, yeah, what a great job by Kilbrew and Forge. I mean, my goodness. Take a look at that. You know, you got one guy working low, and then you got the big man coming in up high just to finish it off. That was really great. And like I said, you're now starting to see this Denver defense get more pressure on Minnesota. Got them a little bit rattled in certain situations.
And there's no backs in the backfield. 5 receivers set for Reno. He'll throw it towards the right. And one of the few times a Minnesota receiver didn't come away with that catch. It'll be 3rd and 14. Passes 10 to Powell.
Yeah. Nick Kindler really delivered the blow right there on Powell. That was just a great job of hitting him right in the ribs there and knocking that ball out.
3rd down, 14. Same formation, but flip the side. Up. Change that. Jason France will join the bunch formation. 5 receivers and 1 tight end to the near side for the legend. As Reno will pass over the middle. Incomplete. And you know what? Washington agree with the pass deflection. But these Nightwings are kind of acting like another Colorado team. They telling the legend that we're coming.
Oh, yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, that was the best defensive stand we have saw this entire game by Denver. I mean, playing with a confidence that, as I said, we didn't see at the beginning of this game. And another thing, too, I felt like Minnesota came up with a really nice play scheme right there. Looked like they had some open routes, but it was just the determination of that Denver defense that thwarted that.
And Jackson trying to play the hero. Should have waited fair catch and saved that pain that he just received, but he'll be 1st and 10 at the 28. But yeah, Denver's playing with a lot of fire right now. It seems like the momentum's on their side, even though they're trailing by 4.
It really does feel that way, and it's going to take Minnesota coming up with a big play here defensively to really exhaust that flame. So now, you know, what can Denver do? They look like they could be in the driver's seat if they get a good drive going here.
And O'Shaughnessy will get the carry this time. Carries defenders for a 7-yard gain. A good start to this down distance.
You know, O'Shaughnessy got a pretty good little breather there. Got a chance to catch his breath at the halftime and set out that first series there of the 3rd. So he's got some fresh legs under him maybe and ready to go again. Certainly ready to get this team down towards the end zone once more.
And, you know, he's really motivated after what happened at the end of the first half. Mills gets the carry. A generous spot there. It'll be 3rd and 1 coming up.
Oh yeah, you know that he's very motivated to make up for that step out of bounds right there. And I really got to say that I do like what Denver's doing. I think that by switching it up, giving it to Mills on occasion, has really helped O'Shaughnessy stay fresh.
Here we go, 3rd and 1 coming up. And this will be a carry for O'Shaughnessy. Avoids the first tackler and does get the first down. Minnesota tried to do a combo tackle, but O'Shaughnessy was having none of that.
Yeah, he wasn't having any of that. He knew where the marker was, and even though it wasn't one of his bigger runs of the game, he got just what he needed to extend that drive.
We got 4 minutes left in the third quarter, a quarter that's been dominated by defense after a very explosive offensive slugfest in the first half. O'Shaughnessy will get the carry again, and he will get 2 yards on that play. Tackle made by Juan, Mississippi.
A nice job right now of Mississippi and this Minnesota defense kind of containing O'Shaughnessy a little bit better. He is still getting some carries and has been able to make some plays, but not really, shedding tackles and breaking through the secondary as he was able to do earlier, just yet anyway.
O'Shaughnessy with a nice spin will help him get more yards. It'll be 3rd and 2 coming up.
And this is their bread and butter. This is what Denver does better than anybody. Well, I guess I should say than a lot of teams, honestly, is just being very methodical and really able to effectively work their way down the field just by being themselves with this great run game and chipping away at things.
And this will be a pass caught by the tight end, Keith Wheeler. And the drive will stay alive after that great reception by the tight end.
We talk about the amount of rookies on this team. I think we mentioned 7 on defense. There's 1 on special teams. And then you've got this guy, Keith Wheeler, right here. Him and Althor both rookie tight ends. And a nice job. We kind of tend to hear Chris Althor's name mentioned more in that aspect. But, boy, Struthers did a nice job of rolling out there and finding Wheeler wide open. And a really nice catch by Keith that he can frame and put on his office at home there on the wall.
That was a very impressive catch by the rookie. The 99th pick of this past SFL draft. 1st and 10. This will be a toss play to O'Shaughnessy. And unfortunately, the one thing you don't want to see as a running back is one of your lead blockers facing you instead of the direction you're going. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, things are going downhill if that happens. You just got to go back to the drawing board and try again, right?
Hey, if you first don't succeed, try again. This running game has been solid. And here we go. They will try again. O'Shaughnessy breaks the first tackle, gets 7 yards. It'll be 3rd and 3 coming up.
And it was crucial right there, like you said. You can't always hit home runs. You're going to hit, a couple of foul balls and some grounders every now and then. But right there, they went back to the drawing board. Instead, they went right side, and they was able to find some much-needed yardage to make this 3rd down a little bit easier.
Here we go. And Struthers had plenty of time. And I'm kind of surprised pass interference wasn't called. Maybe because the pass didn't seem it was catchable, but we got 4th and 3 coming up.
I'm like you. I kind of expected to see a flag on that. It seemed like it was very, very evident. Looking for Keith Wheeler, obviously. I think that one Struthers let get away from him just a little bit. And I'm going to assume that's why they didn't call that. And a really promising drive is going to end in a punt here, it looks like.
I wouldn't be surprised if this would be a fake. Nope, they decided to go ahead and punt. Fans aren't too happy, but you really want this to be shanked. Oh, Evans decided to return it. He'll pay for his crimes there. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 17.
Yeah, took an unnecessary hit there, didn't he? I mean, there was really nothing to gain on that, and instead he still stopped right around the 17. But it's kind of an interesting call as well. I mean, to obviously going for kind of a corner kick there. I almost feel like that was something you could have considered maybe even making it 4-down territory.
That was a 23-yard punt. It'll be 1st and 10 for the legend. And great job once again by Quintana stopping Hart, this time for a 1-yard loss, which has been a rarity so far in this game.
Well, it really has, and that guy, Quintana, he's catching fire right now. I mean, they can't put him out.
This has been a high-scoring game. You might want to give player of the game to Quintana. But Caesar Powell has something to say about that. He makes a nice catch. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Legend.
Who would have thought that the high-scoring first two quarters that we had, that we would be looking at a potentially scoreless third quarter? I wouldn't have expected that. But
Same
instead,
here.
it's become a game of defense right now, or at least up to this point. We'll see if Minnesota can change that, T-Roy. But wow, it's really shifted the feel of things in today's game.
And look at that. Reno has 233 yards passing, just 3 yards over their average per game. And, that's going to climb, like right now, thanks to that nice swaglicious catch by Taylor before he gets destroyed, but not after another first down.
Yeah, a nice job by Taylor. Really kind of surprised how soft Denver plays right here. See, you let them just have the middle of the field to work with, and to be 100% honest with you, Minnesota's a team that you really can't allow to have that kind of cushion. They'll make you pay every time.
Yeah, those two defenders were looking in the wrong direction. Minnesota made them pay for it. Great job by the QB and wide receiver with that connection. 1st and 10 coming up. Ball at Minnesota's own 44. This will be a quick pass. A nice catch by Powell. 8-yard gain, but could potentially be the final play of the third quarter. We'll see.
Kind of looking that way. They may try to hurry up and get one off here before the quarter ends. But yeah, a nice little reception there to make this an easy second down. Minnesota now really with so far their most promising drive of the second half so far.
Everybody put your 4s, 12s, 86 and 68s up. We have reached the fourth quarter. A scoreless third quarter. Minnesota has the lead. It's 28-24. And we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter. Minnesota's driving up by 4. Ball at their own 48-yard line. Hart gets the carry. He will get the first down. And APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the SFL. To explore their library and to find their perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. It's now 1st and 10 for the Legend. 9 minutes and 28 seconds left in the game. Hart gets the carry, breaks the first tackle, carries the defender for a nice 5-yard gain. Once again, Quintana with the tackle.
Yeah, a good job right there by Quintana. And now, this drive all of a sudden has a much more impactful significance than maybe what it had just on the flip side of the third quarter, because now if Minnesota can score and put some separation between themselves and Denver, the clock is not on Denver's side with the way they like to play their game.
And Hart, great run. Just to avoid a potential spear from a Denver defender. It'll be 3rd and inches coming up.
Obviously the most important third down of the game so far. As I was saying there, if they can keep this drive alive, milk some clock, and then potentially score, it's going to put Denver kind of with their backs against the wall.
And Hart will get the carry. He'll get the first down and more. It'll be 1st and 10, just past the 30.
And you continue to rely on Colin Hart right there, T-Roy. We've called his name the entire night, but now he's just really – he's getting important yardage. And like I said, I know there's still almost a full quarter to play, but 8 minutes and ticking important time there being used.
Reno just avoid getting the sack and will throw an interception by Nick Kindler, and that's the stop the Night Wings defense needed. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Well, my goodness. I mean, that, again, I say it seems like each and every week. That's why they play the game. That's why we love simulation football, because just when you think things are about to go one way, my goodness, what about that pass? A really rare inerrant throw by Reno, and instead Kindler makes them pay And Denver's got another shot to go up in this one. Wow.
Once again, a second half completely dominated by both teams' defenses. Let's see if the Night Wings offense can change that. First and 10 at their own 24. O'Shaughnessy gets a carry up the middle. Makes a man miss with that nice spin move. Will be second inches coming up.
Yeah, good job by O'Shaughnessy there. He was ready to break that one loose. He's been looking for that since the start of the third quarter. But T-Roy, I mean, we almost thought certain we were going to see at least a field goal out of that, didn't we? But yet still scoreless in the second half.
O'Shaughnessy broke the ankles of Derek Meerkat, number 37, with that spin move. We'll see how Meerkat and the defense of the Legend responds. Second and inches coming up. O'Shaughnessy will get the carry. He'll get the first down. And a little bit more. Be first and 10 for the Night Wings.
And boy, I tell you, that just everything that all the strategy, the strategic things I was getting ready to talk about, throw them out the window. It didn't even matter. That's why I'm sitting up here and not on the field. because honestly, I mean, we talked about them losing a chance at really making a methodical drive out of it. Now they've got the football, and they've got plenty of time on their hands to play their style of football.
The big one O'Shaughnessy has the edge, but all he does make a man miss, but the side of spin. Oh, no. That could have been a touchdown again. They would be first and 10 as they flip the field on that great run.
Man, what a great play. I mean, that was such a nice play. Take a look at this on the replay. Watch him kick outside here. Look at this. Boom. And there you go. He's got room to run. He's got a man coming over, kind of to corner him there, and there he felt the heat. He felt the pressure coming up on him and got entangled. But, yeah, just a nice job right there. That was Daniel Wright coming in to make that tackle, by the way. A game-saving tackle even, perhaps.
O'Shaughnessy over 200 yards rushing. Right at 214 so far. They'll be first and 10 for the Night Wings. Ball just outside the 25-yard line. The backup running back will get the carry. O'Shaughnessy definitely needed that rest there. Tackle made by Juan, Mississippi. Second 11 coming up.
Oh, you got to imagine running as hard as the guy has right here up in this Colorado altitude. You probably need to get a little breather, maybe a little oxygen before they put him back in. And he's back already.
Just need that little breather. Got the oxygen, like you said. But this will be a pass play over the middle, caught by Alex Jackson. Be 3rd and 4 coming up.
You know, I like that play, T-Roy. I really did. It didn't look like much. It didn't seem like much. But what it did do was it allowed them to really broaden their playbook here for this third down. It looked like they were facing a long situation.
Okay, since he's told me to say this, Twinkle Toes is in the backfield, but he will not get this pass. Ooh, that was almost picked off. But we could have our chance for a field goal, and we'll break the scoring drought we have in the second half.
Yeah, you got to imagine that they will go for the field goal here, try to draw within one with still plenty of time left. I got to tell you, though, for Minnesota, a really nice job of not breaking.
And Hudson James, 8 of 10. Field goals so far. Actually, changed that. That's his 10th field goal of this season. He already had one earlier. And that will cut the lead to 1.
Man, this thing is far from over, I'm telling you. You know, Denver still has to be feeling really good, able to get some points, narrow it to 1. This Denver defense has been able to thwart this Minnesota offense. I mean, pretty much we're looking at close to a quarter and a half without them being able to put any points on the board. We're still waiting to see if Minnesota can respond.
And right now, Rick Evans is trying to do just that. A nice return to the 24-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Legend. Tomorrow, in your football Sunday, with a pair of SFL late games starting at 9 p.m. Eastern in Buffalo, where Queen City hosts the DC Dragons. Plus, Arizona shoots for a 5-1 start, hosting Sioux Falls. 9 hours of commercial-free football ends on SFL YouTube. As Reno will just avoid the sack.
Oh, my God.
Interception to Quintana. Quintana has been a beast today. He has a sack and he has an interception.
The guy's making a case for player of the game. I'm telling you right now, that was beautiful. Then it was shocking. It kind of caught me off guard. I didn't expect to see see that by Reno, but instead, yeah, he threw it right to Quintana, and you can tell that this rookie has really kind of got in his head a little bit. He has Johnny Reno just a little bit rattled. Some of the throws, since he's been getting some pressure on him, has really kind of been off the mark, and you're seeing the fruits of this defense's labors. Wow.
And Minnesota will have to stop Denver from potentially taking the lead. Denver's already in field goal range, just outside the red zone at their own 23-yard line. So Shawnee gets the carry, bounces it to the middle for a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, just good running up the middle, good hard running right there to make this second down a little bit easier. But my goodness, that was something, wasn't it? I mean, I think we both pretty much stood up on our chairs, not jumped out of our chairs. That was something. What a great play.
Yeah, Quintana just read Reno like a book, baited him to throw that ball. Denver benefited from it as R.E. Mills will get the carry. Number 44, trucking defenders will get the first down, be 1st and 10 coming up.
And now the clock continuing to run, 5 minutes here. You know, the one thing that Minnesota certainly has on their side is that if they need to get the ball back, they are an offense that can put up points pretty quickly. They don't have to worry about having a lot of time to work with. But you can tell Denver's pretty happy right now to try to do what they can with the clock on their side.
3-yard gain on that carry, be 2nd and 7. And we currently stand at 55 points. Remember, the over-under is 57.5. If you hit the under, you're definitely probably having your heart beating through your chest right now. This will be a quick pass caught by Chris Offer. He's been clutch, and Denver has that 1st and goal coming up.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was really nice. I mean, just the significance of that catch right there gets him a fresh set of downs, and boy, he did a good job of just turning his body to where he could cradle that football and harmlessly fall to the ground. That sets up a big drive right here, 1st and goal.
And Sturz will drop back, swing pass to O'Shaughnessy, and he will dive in for a touchdown. Denver takes the lead for the first time in the game.
That had to feel good for that young man. I mean, that was great. That was good. You know, getting to see him respond right there after the issue earlier. Played a great game, and instead of traditionally lining him up at the backfield and running back position, of course, they kind of slung him out a little bit to the outside there in the receiver slot on a screen. And a great job right there. Great delivery by Struthers, who's played a wonderful game. And O'Shaughnessy got that one in. And Denver now taking the lead right when it matters most. They're going for 2.
Yeah, they're trying to chase points, making this a 7-point lead if they convert. 4:15 left in the game. Minnesota's defense definitely want to step up. O'Shaughnessy gets the carry, and he will not be denied. Denver is now up by 7 with 4:15 left in the game.
My goodness. That is the guy right there who is playing with a purpose tonight. He goes in standing after it looked like he had the front 5, who could have got him. No, he finds his way through, and he goes standing into the end zone, breaks through the secondary as well. Fantastic. Great job by the offensive line as well right there.
Now, can Minnesota, who's been ice cold in the second half, finally respond and get some points on the board? Evans returned this. It'll be to the 23-yard line, and we have another game update. We're sending it back to SFL headquarters with the commissioner.
Huge upset tonight, T-Roy, as Los Angeles goes into Houston. Ryan Yosef with the late pick. And can you believe it? The 1-4 LA Lycans, 13.5-point dogs. They win on the road in Houston, 30-27. Arizona next week. Back to you in Denver for your conclusion.
As Hart gets the carry, breaks a tackle, and gets 4 yards on that play. But with Commissioner Cam and also Cameron Duty, you know the old saying, that's why you played the games. What a nice win for the LA Lycans. So, they got to be happy.
Oh, yeah. Ecstatic. I mean, that's a monumental win for them right there.
Especially on the road against a Houston team that beat these Minnesota Legends, who just got the first down on that carry and they going on hurry up.
Oh, yeah. A little early for that, I would think, or traditionally anyway.
This will be a sidearm pass, kind of a bang-bang play. No flag was thrown. It'll be 2nd and 10 coming up.
Kind of understand it a little bit there, trying to keep Denver on their heels, not able to get set. But in my opinion, I feel like that kind of unfortunately allowed Minnesota to really almost waste it down, not really able to get the right formation at that point.
No backs in the backfield. Taylor in motion, makes the trip formation near side. 2 wide receivers to the far side for Reno. And it'll be another quick pass. Oh! Craig Mam had a chance to make the catch. Reno paid for it, and he will wind up knowing that that pass was not completed.
Yeah, that's about the only thing that saved him there. I mean, I have to wonder if he knows, what time and what date it is after getting obliterated on that.
Well, he's going to have to shake it off. 5 wide receiver set. And they'll throw it to the far side. Taylor with the catch, and they'll continue to hurry up. I kind of like the matchup in the middle of the spring with France. They're going to throw it. Oh! Overthrown everybody. It'll be 2nd and 10, but I thought he was going to throw it to France. France beat his man for sure.
He had France breaking across the middle of the field right there. You called it, T-Roy. He had him, and he was looking that way. He just sailed that one.
A missed opportunity that could potentially come back to haunt Minnesota. Same formation. And now we have Powell going near side. 2nd and 10. Blitz is coming. They pick it up. Pass is caught by Powell. First down and more.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. 210 yards passing in the middle. Minnesota's been living in the middle so far. And that's another catch to the middle. 7-yard gain, and they will continue to hurry up. Taylor with the reception. Minnesota likes what they have, and that's another catch by Powell. Almost had his 100th touchdown of his career if he stayed in bounds. Instead, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, they got enough heat on him there to get him out of bounds. But I tell you what, this no hurry has really hurt Denver because they've been getting pressure on Reno this whole second half. But with this this no huddle, they're not able to get set, and that pressure is just not getting to Reno as it had in the previous quarter or so.
Over 300 yards passing for Reno. Was originally lined up as a wide receiver. He will basically do that. I kind of like the matchup at the top of the screen, guys. We'll see if they're going to head in that direction. Reno will fire instead to the other side. Incomplete. Pass was intended to Mam.
It's one of the few times we've been able to call Mam's name in this game thus far. But, while I did like the matchup at the top, you're right, there wasn't much going on underneath, and Reno really didn't have a lot of time to look for his man either with the pressure coming around the outside.
We're going to have 4 wide receivers to the far side in the 2nd and goal. 2:53 left. Minnesota needs this touchdown to tie it.
Oh, my.
Almost picked off again. 3rd and goal coming up.
Yeah, just about. And I think had he been able to come up with that, he would have took that to the house for 6. They weren't anything between him and the end zone.
I'm kind of surprised they have not run it once in the set of downs. 3rd and goal coming up. Ben Callie is the man in motion. And Reno will fire it to the middle. Caught by Powell. 1 yard. 100th touchdown in his career. It'll be 4th and goal. You know they have to go for it.
I think you have to. Now, would I be surprised if they don't go for it? I would have been. Now, but here's what surprises me. Colin Hart's not in the backfield, T-Roy.
No, right now he's the receiver. And Reno will get sacked, and they will come away with no points. Denver's like, you lose. You get nothing. Good day, sir.
Bend, but don't break. Reynosa coming in with his biggest play of the day. I have to tell you, I'm stunned. I really am, as close as it was, and the movement you got out of your offense this entire game. And you've got Colin Hart, who we watched last week go up and over defenders from farther out than that they didn't go that route.
Now let's see if Denver can make them pay. O'Shaughnessy gets the carry. Great job by the Minnesota defense with that combo tackle. It'll be 2nd and 9 coming up. Mississippi led that combo tackle.
I definitely understand the reasoning for wanting to go for it. I can't say that I agreed with the play call. In that regard, I think maybe you should have considered taking the 3 points and hoping to get the ball back on an onside.
And we'll reach the 2-minute warning. Can Denver close this out, or will the Legend defense force a punt? We'll find out. You're watching the Simulation Football League on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Here we go. 2 minutes left. Everybody is shocked, including the stats truck. As O'Shaughnessy will get the carry. And we'll get stopped. It'll be 3rd and 5, and Minnesota will call their first timeout.
Crucial 3rd down coming up here for so many reasons, obviously. You don't want to do anything that's going to put you in jeopardy of a turnover. At the same time, though, you want to get that 1st down. You want to make them burn more timeouts. That could seal the deal here if they can get them burnt on these timeouts.
An important 3rd down for the Legend defense. Denver basically had momentum since the end of the first half. Mills get the carry, gets the 1st down. That will force Minnesota to burn their 2nd timeout, and that could potentially be coffin nails for the Night Wings.
Quite potentially. That was a gutsy play call, but a really brilliant one by the offensive coordinator. A great job right there by Denver. You've got the defense thinking it's going to go to O'Shaughnessy. Instead, you give it to R.E. Mills, and the guy just bulldozes his way to the 1st.
A 9-yard gain when Denver only needed 5. Great run by R.E. Mills, who potentially could be a lead blocker to the outside. As O'Shaughnessy will get the carry, he goes up the middle, breaks another tackle, breaks a 3rd. This will force Minnesota to call their final timeout. And the Legend needs another miracle if they want to get back in this game.
Yeah, they got to be still kind of just in shock, really, of how the last couple of series have went. We've saw them to the goal line, T-Roy, and still not be able to punch it through for a touchdown.
They get one more 1st down, it'll effectively be the ball game. Wheeler in motion to the far side. This could be a run for R.E. Mills. He will get the carry, runs it back inside, and that is officially coffin nails. Denver will win this game, according to 3-3, while Minnesota will fall to 3-3.
And you can expect just about victory formation to come for this Denver Night Wings. And oh, what a feeling it is for these rookies and this entire team. But these rookie players on defense who stepped up and stopped a Minnesota offense that scored 28 points. And then to hold them to nothing in the 2nd half. Incredible.
And you bet the under, y'all happy. Y'all won. This will be Denver's 56th win at home, while for the Legend, this will unfortunately be their 11th loss on the road. Denver definitely fought hard, trailing at 1 point, 14-0, and will win by 7.
At one point, we're sitting here in the midway through the 1st quarter, and we're thinking, geez, I hope this is going to be a contest. Everybody wants to see a good football game here. We didn't know what we had in store for us after that, my friend. This has been wonderful, a great game.
As we said before, that's why you play the game. A very impressive home victory for the Night Wings. That will be the final play. Denver will not have to snap it. Minnesota will go back to the drawing board and try to bounce back in their next game, but kudos to the Night Wings, and we got a decision to make. we will get the player of the game, and we got plenty of options, plenty of choices. I mean, I kind of like Quintana, but Bailey O'Shaughnessy and Ari Mills also stepped up themselves. And Struthers had a great game.
Oh, they did. What a game. What a game, T-Roy. Let's talk about that, as a matter of fact, as Denver comes away with the win. A victorious team. You know, so interested to watch. It really was. This first time all season Minnesota has lost 2 straight games. Let's point that out. But you take a look at things, it was the running of Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Look at the passing yards, 303 for Minnesota as opposed to just 180-some for Denver. Denver, a great job of really good management, good play management by Struthers there on the quarterback side. And you had guys like O'Shaughnessy on the offensive side. But then you're right, T-Roy, the defensive side. Why don't we do this? Just because we can, because it's SFL football. I think I'm going to give it to our friend there, Quintana, for his defensive efforts coming in big time on that second half. And, O'Shaughnessy, if you want to give it to him on the offensive side of the ball, you go ahead and do so. I think both of those guys, my friend, need mention tonight.
I agree with you, but we got to pick one. I'm going to agree with that first pick you made. Quintana is my player of the game. 1 sack, 1 interception. He killed a lot of drives in this game to help Denver not only come back, but actually win it. So, everyone, for the commissioner, Cameron Irvine back at SFL headquarters, Ron Haynes and Ricky Robinson on staff. This is Team Ray Games with Cameron Duty. We are signing off. And remember, we got more SFL action tomorrow night. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Take care, everybody.